Hey fishing friend, my name is JC with Rad Reeling Fishing. I have over 800 fishing related videos in my YouTube library. A lot of those are kayak fishing. So in this video, I'm going to share with you my favorite kayak fishing lures, maybe share some tips on how I fish with them and why I use them. So let's get to it right after this. I like to be on the water right before the sun comes up and start throwing topwater. My buddy Otis, he's been an avid kayak fisherman for years. He basically mentored me on how to kayak fish, and a lot of these lures he turned me on to. So topwater lures, the bone color and the chrome, yeah, these are the two colors that we generally throw. Snook, redfish, trout, jacks, bluefish, all different kinds of fish are going to hit topwater lures. So I make sure that I have some of these in my tackle box, and I'll fish with these guys until that sun gets up there and it starts shining bright. And even in the middle of the day, behind mangrove areas and under docks, yeah, if there's a good shaded area, yeah, I won't hesitate to throw some topwater lures and see if I can pull those fish out from underneath the shade. These particular topwater lures, they're very easy to fish with. You basically just cast them out there and you just twitch your rod tip. You don't have to do anything special other than hold it down towards the water, and it'll cause these baits, it's called walking the dog. These baits will zigzag back and forth, and yeah, they've got rattles in them, but oh, the fish just go absolutely crazy over these. The next lure I keep in my kayak fishing tackle box is a Meridine. These are great lures for fishing in shallow water: snook, trout, redfish, bluefish, jacks, ladyfish. Yeah, anything that's out there in saltwater in Florida is going to hit a MirrOlure Meridine. This one is basically for shallow water, but they do make a heavy dean, which I've never used the heavy dean before. I always just use these fishing in shallow water, you know, anywhere from like, what, 1 foot deep until six or 7 feet deep. They're slow sinking suspending baits, and you basically just throw them out there and you just kind of twitch your rod tip as you're reeling it in, or you can twitch it 4 or 5 times and pause it. But yeah, oh guys, fish go absolutely crazy over these whenever they go right in front of them. I caught some nice fish on these. I'm glad I started fishing with them. This is not always my go-to lure, but I keep artificial shrimp in my tackle box. This is your DOA, and this is your voodoo shrimp. I like the DOA shrimp because it floats through the current naturally. I like the voodoo shrimp because you can pop that down on the bottom because it's got a pretty heavy weight on it. So yeah, I keep some artificial shrimp in my tackle box. Generally, I'll pull these out when the bite gets really tough and I just can't get anything to bite. Yeah, I'll switch over and I'll put on a shrimp and see if I can talk them into that. Why? Everything hits a shrimp, right? Next thing you're going to find in my kayak fishing arsenal is soft plastic paddle tails. I have weedless hooks. This one is rigged weedless, and I have them also where they aren't weedless. The reason I have two is obviously if there aren't weeds around, you're going to get a better hookup ratio with an exposed hook than you are with a hook that actually has to push through the soft plastic. So I keep them in all different colors. I have a tendency to just kind of lean towards using white most of the time. I also keep jerk shads. This is just your straight tail plastic, and you throw these out there and you basically just jerk them, and they have a very erratic action. You catch, guys, you catch everything on these. Here again, snook, redfish, trout, jacks, lady, anything that's out there, guys, is going to hit a paddle tail because they mimic, right? They mimic little shrimp and little minnows. Yeah, so I'll keep an assortment of different colors of paddle tails, different sizes, and also different weights on the jig heads from 1/8 inch up to 3/8, and also obviously an assortment of weedless hooks. This next one comes as no surprise to you guys that have been on the channel for a while. This is my Yo-Zuri holographic minnow. I like the 4-inch and the 2 3/4 inch. I keep both of them in my tackle box. If they're not hitting the bigger baits, you can probably get them to hit the smaller bait. These lures can be fished a lot of different ways. I basically just throw them out there and do a steady retrieve. If I'm not getting hits on a steady retrieve, I work them like a jerk bait, where I just give them a good jerk and let it pause. Give them a good jerk, let it pause, reel a little bit, jerk it, let it pause. So yeah, these are, gosh, I love these Yo-Zuri lures. Yeah, they run probably like 5 or 6 feet deep at their deepest point, or you can run them shallower depending on how high you hold your rod tip when you're retrieving these lures. All right, the next lure you're going to find in my kayak fishing tackle box is going to be a gold spoon. These are specifically for catching redfish. Redfish love gold spoons. You got the small Johnson Sprite spoon. That's your 1/8 ounce. This is your bigger weedless Johnson spoon. I think this guy right here might be called a redfish magic. I caught a nice redfish on this one last year. I couldn't get them to hit any other baits, so I put on this little spinner bait with the gold spinner and I nailed a nice redfish. So yeah, I always keep some gold spoons in there for getting on some redfish. And the last thing that you're going to find in my tackle box is going to be your pompano jig and a teaser rig, right? I always keep a few of these in there. These are great for catching all different types of species. I mean, obviously for targeting pompano, but they're also great for catching ladyfish. Snook will hit them, trout will hit them, mangrove snapper. I caught a big redfish on a jig and teaser one time, so I always keep those in there as well. So that's a pompano. It's a pompano, guys. That's what I was looking for. Spot lock it, JC. Spot lock it. Pompano, baby. Pompano. Pompano. That's what I'm talking about. That's what we've been looking for. Pompano. Look what I found. Pompano. It's a fatty too, man. It's a fatty. He is fighting like crazy. That's a keeper. Oh, he's going nuts. He's going nuts. Look at that big fatty. Look at that big fatty. Get in this kayak, dude. Oh, baby. We found him, guys. We found him. That dude is way beyond 11 inches to the fork, man. That guy right there's 12 inches to the fork, man. Woohoo! Nice. We found the pompano. That was my plan right there. As you can see, guys, I don't have a ton of different lures that I kayak fish with, but these lures are very effective. You can fish paddle tails like really shallow, or you can fish them really deep, right? Depending on that size weight that you put on there. It doesn't matter if you're fishing in current or not in current with paddle tails. Topwater lures, you can fish them shallow and deep. The Miradines are basically for your shallower water. You got your pompano jigs. You can put on different weights of those and fish a lot of different depths when you're out there. The Yozuri, you're basically going to run that, you know, in 6 to 7 foot of water, maybe 8 foot of water. Just depends on where the fish are laying in the water column. And then you got your spoons. You know, basically redfish are going to be huddled up in the shallower areas when you're fishing with spoons, the backwaters around the oyster bars and the mangrove islands and stuff like that. Hey, check out this video, different baits you can use for sheepshead, or check out this one, different ways you can hook live shrimp. Thanks for watching. Thumbs up or appreciated. Get out there and go fishing, man. Life is fun. Live it. See ya.